Hello, welcome to David Joyner Art Academy. I thought I would demonstrate to you how I start every one of my acrylic paintings. Before you ever actually begin the process of painting the actual photograph, you need to prime the canvas, or in my case a board, before you ever actually start painting. And this is the process I use to do it. First of all, you need to apply what's called a gesso. This will enable the acrylic paint to adhere to your board. So I pour a small amount into the tray, and this is a normal painting tray. As you can see, this part isn't as precise, so using regular household materials that you'd buy at Home Depot work fine. And the photograph we're going to be painting from is by a photographer by the name of Carlton Ward. He's given me permission to paint from it as a photo reference. So the overall color scheme is brown, except for some of the skylight. So I'm going to use what's called a tonal ground. This burnt sienna most closely represents the overall tone of the painting. So I'm going to mix this in with my gesso, and this will create a tonal ground to create a brown undercoat to your painting. Okay, and the reason why you do this is it saves time overall, because you already have the base color to work from. Okay, so first of all, I shake it up. Now this is a liquid version of burnt sienna. There's a heavy body which doesn't work as well for gesso. I get the liquid version, and then I pour quite a bit in there. As you can see, it's right there. I take my palette knife and mix it together to get a good consistency. I don't know if you can see that or not. Get a good consistency. Make sure that the gesso and the paint are mixed together thoroughly. Now you don't have to use a tonal ground. I do, because I like the final result of it. But every one of my paintings I haven't used a tonal ground for. My horse painting that I showed you in another video, it was done with just regular white. Looking back, I wish I had done a tonal ground painting, but hindsight's 20/20. So, okay, you just take your brush like this, you roll it together, and we'll add a little bit more brown to it. Okay. A little bit more brown. This is a trial and error process. You add more and more of the color till you get the correct color that you want for your undercoat. This is still kind of light. A little bit more brown to it. Maybe that's a little better. Okay, as you can see, that's the brown I want. And again, this is a burnt sienna. I use a roller instead of a brush because the brush tends to leave streaks, and I don't like the streak in my painting. I want a more smooth surface, and I find that the roller works better. And basically just roll up and down the canvas like this. You cover the entire surface of the canvas. I know this part probably seems a little boring. You want to get to the painting aspect of the artwork you want to complete, but this is very necessary. If you don't complete the gessoing part of your painting, your paint will not adhere to the canvas the way you want. So I always gesso. This is an extremely important step, and even though it seems a little mundane and you just want to get to the actual painting, I would not advise painting without gessoing first. Okay? And again, this basically just enables the paint to adhere to the canvas correctly. You still see that? I paint more than one direction to make sure I get complete coverage. Now, gesso dries a lot slower than regular acrylic paint. It's still acrylic paint, but it dries probably 10 times slower than regular paint. So you need to leave and come back to it whenever it's completely dry. It's kind of a clumsy process. I normally do it on a flat surface, on a table, but I couldn't videotape it then, so that's why I'm doing it on the easel. Like I say, if you get splotches of brown paint here and there, it's okay, because the acrylic paint that you're going to be painting over the gesso will cover it up, so it doesn't matter, because there's parts that have more brown than others. It's okay. All right, a little bit more on there, and then we'll be done. Our next step will be to start the painting. I'm hoping to do that video today. If not, I'll start on it within this week. And like I say, we are going to be painting the photograph of this cowboy. He's a Florida cowboy. And Carlton Ward, who's a photographer friend of mine, he gave me permission to paint it. So I hope to see you soon. And remember, you are an artist.